Welcome to the Sweat Simple podcast. I'm Brooks, and I'm an online fitness, nutrition, and mindset coach who's here to help you learn how to eat and exercise for real life, not just those perfect moments. Because let's be real, there is a lot of conflicting information online, and it can be hard to know what's legit and who to trust. In every episode, I'll be sharing the science and psychology behind health, fitness, and long-lasting behavior change, but I'll also be sharing practical, real-life application because all of the best info in the world only matters if you can apply it to your real life. So grab a coffee, water, glass of wine, or lace up your walking shoes, and let's dive in. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Sweat Simple podcast. And before we dive in, I am hosting a free workshop on January 25th, all about why you know what to do, but you still don't do it. If you are someone who has been in that start-stop cycle, if you start the week strong, but by Wednesday you are ordering DoorDash, this workshop is going to give you the exact plan that you need to get out of the on-track, off-track cycle and finally be consistent for good. So if you are someone who is ready to follow through in 2026, you want to make this the year that you crush your goals, even during the busy weeks, all of the social events, and when you're just feeling really stressed out, head to the show notes, reserve your spot. It is completely free. Even if you can't join us live, I will be sending out a recording, so you really don't want to miss this. But now we are going to dive in. And honestly, I think it is the time of year, but I have been seeing a lot of those calorie comparison videos recently. The ones where it's like, oh, this is what 100 calories of Doritos looks like. And it's, like 3 Doritos. And then this is what 100 calories of Greek yogurt and berries looks like. And it's this very full plate. And obviously this message is supposed to tell you, hey, you're going to be starving all the time if you have the Doritos. And if you want to feel full and you want fat loss to be easy, we need to be eating Greek yogurt and berries. And I'll admit, I used to make this content because I thought that this awareness was helpful. I thought that people didn't understand that filling their calories with Doritos and ice cream was making fat loss so much harder. And to some degree, it is. Like, especially if you are someone who has never tracked calories before, or you have no idea what a proper portion size looks like, understanding how much more volume you could be eating when you're prioritizing nutrient-dense foods, when you're eating protein, that can be helpful. I'm a coach who is actually very pro calorie counting. I think it gives us a lot of awareness that we previously didn't have. It helps us really understand maybe why we're feeling so hungry all the time. It helps us understand why we're not reaching our goals. But this awareness as to proper portion sizes and how many calories is in something, it's not the only awareness that we need. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to the fact that you already know that. You know that a handful of Doritos is not going to keep you as full as that big bowl of Greek yogurt or berries, or you know that you should pick the salad for dinner, but you're going to get the pizza anyways, even though you know it's higher in calories. You know that there's a reason that you're not picking it. You're choosing to not track calories because you know that you're going to be over. In that moment, you're choosing not to have that awareness. You're saying, well, you know what? I know I'm going to be over calories, so if I just don't track this thing, I am just not going to care about it. It doesn't even count. And maybe you can relate to seeing that you only have 200 calories left for the day, but you have the ice cream anyways because you just don't care. Or maybe you know that you are going to go over your calories, or you know that you shouldn't have that handful of chips, but you feel like you deserve it because you've been so good all week. You have been so good, you deserve to have this little bit of treat. I've had clients tell me before we're working together, in the moment, they say, I just don't care about my health goals. I am feeling upset right now. I want to feel better, and food is going to help me feel better. So I don't care about my goals. I care about feeling better. And if that resonates with you, if that hits home, if like in your gut, you're like, yeah, that is me, I want you to know that you are not alone at all. This is a very common experience. So many women out there, and this was me before I was a coach, are in this cycle of knowing what to do and just not doing it. And this is when portion size and awareness and tracking calories just isn't enough. Most of us know that the berries and the yogurt is better for us than the Doritos. Most of us know that not tracking or being over our calories multiple times a week is not helping us reach our goals. Most of us know these things. There is a reason why we know what to do and we still don't do them. That is exactly why I'm hosting this free workshop on this exact topic. So if all of this is ringing true, if all of this feels like a big gut punch to you and you're like, I can relate 1,000%, pause this right now, head to the show notes, reserve your free spot. You have to be there if you want to get out of this cycle and start following through this year. Because being successful with fat loss doesn't just come down to this awareness around portion sizes and tracking calories. And it could be why you're feeling really frustrated right now, because you just keep telling yourself at the start of every week, I just need more discipline. I just need to really grit down. I just need to track my calories. I just need to say no. I just need to stick with it. And that would be amazing if we could all do that. Like if we could just say, well, this is what I intend to do every week, so I'm just going to do it. That's not how behavior change works. That's not how fat loss works. We don't only need awareness around the calories and things. We also need the awareness around why we're choosing not to make the healthier choice in these moments. And there are a lot of different reasons for this. Typically, there are 4 to 5 most common reasons that I see people not making a healthier choice in this moment. The first one is stress or boredom eating. So maybe after a really long work day, you are feeling really stressed. You want a way to relax. You like that client. You just want to feel better. You know that food will help you feel better. And honestly, grabbing a handful of Doritos is so much easier than taking a yoga class or taking a long bath or reading a book. You want that instant effort. So instead of following through with your nutrition plan, you just turn to food. Another really common one that I see is because of habits we've developed. So maybe you got into a habit of every single night after dinner, you have a little sweet treat. So now every night after dinner, you have that automated cue in your brain and you get that sugar craving and you just go and you have the treat. You don't even really think about it. If you've ever found yourself like halfway through a bag of chips and then you're like, what just happened here? That means that you have an automated cue and you have a habit around eating at that time or around a certain activity. Maybe it's watching TV, and we just have an automated behavior pattern. Another reason could even be celebration. Like these things aren't all negative things. It could be, celebration. When we have a good day at work, we feel like we deserve a little bit of food to celebrate. We feel like we deserve that ice cream. If we have been quote unquote good with our nutrition all week, we feel like we deserve to celebrate that. And food is a way that we are celebrating these things. Maybe it's that you are falling into all or nothing thinking or saying screw it in the moment. So the second that you quote unquote fall off track, you feel like you messed up, you aren't sure how to keep going, so you just throw in the towel. Maybe your coworker really wanted to go out to lunch, so they invite you to lunch that day, and you wanted to stick to your nutrition plan, but you felt like you had to go to this lunch, so then you go to the lunch and you'll feel like you messed up. So then for dinner it's kind of like, well, what's the point? I'm just going to get takeout again, or I'm just going to have these chips, and then you feel like you're starting over on Monday. Last one that I tend to see that pops up that has us not following through in the moment are environmental cues. So let's say your coworker tends to bring in donuts a lot. That's an environmental cue saying like, oh, wow, look, I didn't even think I wanted a donut, but now that I'm seeing the donut and now that it's in the break room, I'm just going to have the donut. Or maybe your coworkers are people who like to order lunch frequently. So every day when it comes time to lunch, you're having to decide between sticking to your initial nutrition plan or getting takeout with everyone else, and everyone else is doing it, so you just get takeout too. Those are just a few reasons, but those are some of the most common ones. So that stress or boredom eating, you've developed a habit around eating at that time or around that activity, any sort of celebration, falling into that all or nothing thinking or saying screw it in the moment, and then some of our environmental cues. The truth is that if we want to handle all of these things, the truth is that we want to handle all of these things differently. And all of these things will not be solved by just tracking calories. Again, tracking calories can be helpful. Tracking calories can give us that awareness. Tracking calories can help us understand what a proper portion size is. But tracking calories, as you've probably seen to date, aren't going to help you address the stress eating, falling into all or nothing thinking, the environmental cues. So we can't continue to only focus on having a nutrition plan or only tracking calories or finding the best workout plan if you are someone who finds yourself not following through time and time again. We need to go deeper. We need to work through each of these individual reasons why you're not following through. And again, these are going to be handled very differently, not just per thing, but also per individual client. So like if one client is struggling with stress eating, it might look really different from another one-on-one coaching client of mine who's navigating stress eating. And that's why one-on-one coaching can be so valuable, because we can really dive into your individual circumstances and make sure we're handling it in the correct way. But in general, we really just need to build this awareness around what's making you choose the Doritos or whatever the food is for you time and time again. Is it one of these things I mentioned, or is it something else completely? And then once we identify that, we can work on building the bridge from intending to follow through on this plan every single week to actually following through in this moment. And that's exactly what we are going to be tackling in this live workshop. We're going to be tackling how to bridge the gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it. So if you're interested in learning which of these behavior patterns you fall into, if you're interested in learning how to build the bridge and the awareness around why you are always choosing the chips over the healthy foods, if you want that missing piece to bridge the gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it, register in the show notes for that free workshop. It is happening on January 25th. Even if you can't join us live, sign up. You're going to be getting the replay. This is going to be packed full of value, and you're absolutely going to leave with a plan so you know how to start following through with your goals this year. That is all I've got for you guys. I can't wait to see you live on the workshop. Make sure you are saving your spots in the show notes. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Always shoot me a DM if you've got any questions, and I'll talk to you soon.